Hi everyone, thank you for watching my second vlog video of my study abroad in Cologne, Germany, and I want to give you guys a recap of my first week and then talk about the main topic of this video, which is some differences that I've seen so far between German and American culture. So to start off with my recap, my program began not this past Friday but the Friday before, and to begin I met up with my program, which is PCIC, Pennsylvania Colleges in Cologne, at a youth hostel, and the next day, Saturday, we took a tour of Cologne, and it was given by a professor in the program, and he just explained some major spots in the city. And after that, we went to a restaurant on the Rhine, which is the major river that flows through Cologne, and we ate lunch there. And this is my first time eating a major German meal, so I took a picture of it, and I felt like I was a typical Instagram person, but here's the picture, and so I guess it's pretty German. And then after that, we went back to the youth hostel where our host parents and host families picked us up, and I'm staying with another student in my program, John, and I know John from W&J, so it's pretty cool that we're staying with the same family. And I'll talk about my family more in another video. And so after our families picked us up that night, John and I went to the city, and it was they were having a holiday called Summer Carnival, and Carnival is pretty much the equivalent to Mardi Gras, except it seems to last longer. And so the reason that I was explaining that they were having Summer Carnival is Mardi Gras Carnival is generally had sometime in February, and there's also another holiday in November, and it's usually pretty cold then, so people want to enjoy the nice weather and I guess just have a party. And a lot of the older Germans and some other ones didn't really seem that they wanted to celebrate because they wanted to celebrate the real Carnival, and they thought that this was kind of a knockoff. But I wanted to experience it anyways, and so we went out and walked around the town, and here's a video from that night, and I can't remember what time it was, but it was pretty late, so it was surprising to see this many people out this late. And it was pretty loud, and so here's the video. And in the video, they're just singing a typical Kölsch or Cologne song, and so it was pretty cool to hear anyways. And then after that, on Monday, I went on a tour, a river cruise and it was a tour of the Rhine Valley. So it was a river cruise on the Rhine, and we got to see a lot of castles and had a really nice meal, and it was a nice way to start the program. And here's a picture of the cruise, and so you can see that it was pretty nice. And then on Tuesday, sorry, I'm looking down because I have a lot of things written down. On Tuesday, our classes started, and it went from Tuesday to Friday. And I'll talk about my classes more in another video, but that's when they began. And I really like them so far, and I'm excited to talk about them more. And then on Saturday, I had another tour of the dome, and this is, it was, well, another tour, I should say. I went already inside the dome, but this one was a guided tour, and I learned a lot, and it's a really interesting cathedral, and I'm excited to talk about it more in other videos. And so that was pretty much my week. That was a quick recap. It seemed pretty busy, and I got to do a lot, and I'm starting to settle in. And an interesting, I said in my first video I'd share an interesting and funny experience, and I have two this week. My interesting one is when I went to a program, or I guess you call it, I don't know if I would call it a program, but it's more like a meeting on Wednesday. It's called Mundo Lingo. It's held at like a bar, lounge, restaurant in the city, and it's a language exchange meeting. And so when you go, you wear flags of the languages you know and flags of the countries where they speak the language that you want to learn. So I would wear an American flag here because I know American English, and then down here I'd wear a German flag because I'm learning German, and that would signal to other people there what you want to learn and what you have to offer. And I think it's a really cool way to meet new people and learn the language better, and so I'm excited to go back. And then my funny experience, what happened on the train yesterday, and I guess it makes more sense. I'll explain it. I guess it'll make more sense later in the video, but so I got on the train and with John, and I sat down, and I was next to probably two middle-aged women. They were sitting right across from me, And when I got on, I noticed that she had a stink bug like crawling up her collar, which we have stink bugs in the U.S., so it wasn't really surprising to see the bug. I wasn't like, oh, what is that? But I knew it was probably gonna crawl and scare her, so I just went to take it. And it turns out that you shouldn't lunge at strangers on the train, and so I went to reach for it, and she screamed because I'm reaching my hand towards her. But then I tried to explain what was happening, and then I was thinking in English, not German, so I couldn't explain it fast enough. But then her friends saw what was happening, and they, I guess, let me take the bug, so because I had no problem touching it, so I just picked it up and threw it. And so I apologized for scaring her, but then she thanked me for getting the bug, and it was really an awkward experience. I had to sit next to her for the next 25 minutes, and the moral of the story is you don't lunge at strangers on a train in any country, and I know that now. My favorite picture from this week was from the dome, inside the dome, and it's a carving of the crucifix from the 10th century, so it's over 1,000 years old. And here's the picture, and what I really like about this picture is about the sculpture is it's so old, but it's also unique, is if you look at the bottom of it, Jesus' legs are together and not crossed, which was a style of the time, and I've never seen that before. So I thought that was something interesting that the tour guide pointed out, and I think it's amazing that's lasted over 1,000 years. And then my new food that I've tried this week, I don't know what it was. My host mother made it, and it was really good. It's hard to explain. I'm pretty sure it was a leek. I don't know what that is exactly, but you Google image it and you figure out too. And it was a leek wrapped in like ham, and it was really good, but I don't know what I ate. And then the new word for this week, oh no, I forgot it. The new word for this week, oh, is munza, sorry. The munza, I hope I'm saying it right. Munza, it means coins, and the reason that that's the word for this week is they use a lot of coins because they have a euro coin and a €2 coin, and so I'm always having change in my pocket, which I'm not used to, and so that's the word of the week. And so now I'm getting into the main topic of this video, which is the 10 differences that I've noticed between German and American culture. And these are really, for me, pretty little things for the most part. And to preface it, these are my views. I guess they don't really reflect all Germans or all Americans. And I've only been in this city for a week now, so you can't say that this is everywhere and this always happens. But these are just some funny things that I've noticed. And the big thing, well, not big thing, but to start, number one is prices, and I have a list, so sorry I keep on looking down. Prices here, it's nice because there's no tax, it's already built in, so if it says it's €1.95, it's €1.95. You don't have to multiply it by 7% and add it, so it's easier to pay when it comes to that. And another thing, a big difference here is public transportation, and it's a lot different from coming from a suburb in Pennsylvania to being in a city with really great public transportation that I get to use pretty much unlimitedly because of my pass with my program. So it's quite convenient to have that access. And then this next part, I have to tread carefully, I think, with it. And a big thing is with any culture is I don't like to say that things are bad or they're weird because it's just different. And I think it's interesting and exciting to realize those differences, and one's not better than the other. But I guess Germans tend to be more private with their lives in every aspect, and so in stores and on public transportation, people might not come off as friendly, and I guess that would rub some people the wrong way. And for me, it's just taking some getting used to, because in the U.S., when I go up to a cashier, they ask, "Hey, how's your day? How's it going?" And that's pretty normal. Or if you sit next to somebody on the bus and you talk about the Steelers or something, that's also pretty normal. But here, people don't talk to strangers, and or very rarely they do. And they also don't say "excuse me" as much or "sorry" if they bump into you, which is just, I think, stemming from the fact that they're private. But I guess some people could see that as rude, and that's just something I have to get used to as well. And another big difference is restaurants and just service in general. Here, I don't think they really live on tips, so the service is more based on just getting you what you want, and that's it. It's not meant to be like an all-out experience. And so in restaurants, it's different because I've seen that sometimes if like the flag the waiter's down to get something, they don't come and check up on you on every 10 minutes, which I think some people would like better. I really don't have an opinion on it. I just noticed that it's different. And one thing I don't understand with that is how to tip. I usually just tip a couple euros or something like that and hope for the best. Um, and then payments, people here based on that pay a lot more with cash and coins, which I'm not used to. In the US, especially in the past 5 years, people seem to be paying a lot with debit cards and credit cards. And with Germans, it's just mostly cash, which is a lot different for me. And another difference is I think Germans are a lot, even though they're more private, I think they're more straightforward when you ask them about things. In the US, for example, if you ask a friend, hey, do you like this sweater or do you like my shoes? They may say, well, yeah, it's okay, but maybe this one would be better. But in Germany, I think there's a no, I don't like it, sorry. And that brings me to my next topic, which are clothes. And here, I would say people are dressed up a lot more, but they don't dress down as often. So typically, I've seen people a lot in jeans, but never in sweatpants. And in the U.S., especially in college, people seem to dress a lot with athletic attire, and that's not the case here, which is fine by me. But it's just a big difference to notice is that people aren't walking around in basketball shorts and just in different athletic gear. And like I said, it's not like that's a bad thing. It's just weird to see. Although I do miss being able to wear sweatpants out every once in a while and not get judged. And then the next thing, big difference is water culture, which sounds kind of funny, but it's probably one of the biggest things that I've had to get used to is the water. And it tastes the exact same, but they don't have water fountains anywhere, which I think's strange. And water's a lot more expensive relatively. So for example, in a restaurant, water's gonna cost you sometimes €2.50, and there's no free refills on anything. So for me, that's a little bit pricey. So I'm usually just filling up a water bottle and bringing that around. And actually, in the restaurant, sometimes the water is more expensive, or usually is more expensive than some of the alcoholic drinks and some other drinks, which is a big surprise for an American. And then another difference between the Americans and the Germans is just scheduling in general, so just daily routine. And I think you'd see that in a lot of countries, but for example, I think in Germany they eat their dinner a lot later than I'm used to. And on Sunday, most stores aren't open. And on some weekdays, stores tend to close, some of them at 6 p.m. and 8 p.m., which I'm definitely not used to because in the US, they're closing at sometimes 10 p.m., 12, and then sometimes stores are open 24/7. So that's just another difference that I've seen. And the last one that I don't understand, which I understand the least, is how to deal with garbage, which sounds ridiculous, but here they're big on sorting their garbage. In the US, we say, yeah, we recycle, but recycling to us is just having a blue bin in the corner and throwing all your glass, plastic, and paper in there, and sometimes your garbage if people are lazy. But here, that's not how it works. Even in public, you have plastic bins, glass bins, paper bins, regular garbage, and I'm still a little confused about what's considered what. So hopefully that comes with time. But those are the differences that I've noticed between the German and U.S. culture. And that's only after a week, so I'm sure I'm going to notice more as time goes on. But that's